Squad, back at y'all with another video. Today's topic is know your value. So yesterday, excuse me, I had a good time making that video yesterday about how to be attractive to women. I like the format and how that happened and how it went, so I decided to make this video similarly to where I got some bullet points and then I expand on that as I go through them. So it was a good time, so I chefed up another one for y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through, hanging out with me as always. And here we go. Know your value. It's important to know your value in life. Be confident, not arrogant. Confidence is being sure of yourself and capabilities. Arrogance is thinking you're better than others for similar reasons. So confidence and arrogance kind of go hand in hand. They're like two sides of the same coin. But confidence is you being supremely, you knowing yourself to such a level that you are very sure of yourself and your capabilities. But it's not in a way of you're walking around thinking you're better than anybody else, because nobody's better than anybody. We're all human beings, and at the end of the day, we all have strengths and weaknesses. And having confidence is just understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are, and building on your strengths and working on ways to overcome your weaknesses. So that's what confidence is. So when you're confident in yourself, that means that you've put in the work in order to be able to raise yourself and the standard that you see of yourself, and it radiates out when you're around people. Arrogance is thinking that you're better than somebody else because of some certain situation in your life that you have. Like if you're better at, if you're stronger, if you're smarter, if you look better, or you have more money, or whatever the case may be. When you walk around with arrogance, that means you are walking around feeling like you're better than somebody because you have some sort of trait or quality that somebody else doesn't have, and now you're treating them in some sort of way that you shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, but again, arrogance is when you take it to a whole nother level it doesn't need to be. Confidence is being confident and sure of yourself and knowing that you're supremely gifted or whatever in whatever area, but you are still humble. You still walk around and treat people like human beings, and you don't think you're better than anybody else because you might have a specific quality or a trait that a lot of people don't have. So that's the difference between that. Next point, knowing your value makes you unshakable. No matter what anyone does towards you or says about you, you know who you are at your core. So that stuff has no effect on you, and that's facts. Like when you walk around and you know your value, it doesn't matter what people say or do towards you. You know who you are on the inside, so you don't need the validation of anybody else to make you feel any type of way. So no matter what anybody does, it doesn't change how you feel about yourself. And when you come from that sense of knowing yourself and understanding your value, it makes you extremely powerful, because now you're taking the pressure off of you personally, because now you have validated yourself. You worked on yourself. You figured yourself out so much that the validation that you might have sought after from other people, you now fulfill that within yourself. And since you do that, it takes the pressure off of you. And when you come around, you already know I am valuable. So you radiate that energy and other people feel it and they treat you as such. And also on the other end, by you knowing your own value and you recognizing it, it takes the pressure off other people, because now they don't need to validate you in any way for you to feel some type of way. So you're not searching for anything from them in order to validate who you are on the inside. You already know who you are. You're content and happy with who you are and how you move around, and people can feel that. So it puts them at ease too, because it's like, oh, okay, I don't have to be a specific type of way or do a specific type of thing in order for this person to feel good about themselves. So that's what it comes down to. That's how you that's why it's important to know your value for you, so that then it makes it easier for everybody else. Because when you know your value for you and you come around, people can feel that you know your value, and then boom, then they know your value and they treat you as such. Next point. When you know your value, you don't have to sell yourself. Your energy will speak for you. Facts. But when you do decide to speak, double down with actions that exceed what you're saying. That's how you leave a lasting impression. Those are all factual points and very good things to retain and take in and really sit back and think about. When you know your value, you don't have to sell yourself. And that's a fact. When you know your value, you don't have to sell yourself. Your energy is going to speak for itself. When you come around, people are going to feel your energy, and they're going to automatically know that you have value, because you're going to carry yourself in a way that shows you have value. We've all been around people who may have low self-esteem and be working through stuff or whatever case may be, and you can feel it. Like, you can feel when somebody isn't sure of themselves. You can feel it in the way they talk, how the eye contact that they keep, their body language, the gestures they make, everything. You could just tell when somebody is confident and knows their value, and as opposed to somebody who isn't confident and doesn't know their value. So that's the one way to know your value. Or that's one way to know that you have value, is by how or by not having to sell yourself. You just come around and you're you, and because you're you and you're being your authentic self to the core, people, again, they feel it, they feel the energy, and they reciprocate what you're giving out, because we're all projectors at the end of the day. So whatever you're feeling on the inside, you project to the outside world, and then that's what comes back to you. So, but within that, when you do speak, make sure that you double it down with actions. So, like, when you do speak and you express your value, what you should do is then double down with actions on that and show it, like, in real time. So, because anybody can come around and say, I have value and I do this and I do that. But, like, when you can say it and then you double down on it and you exceed the expectation of what you put out there, that right there is going to leave a lasting impression on whoever it is that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make it hard for them to forget you, because you were confident enough to speak on on your value, and then actually follow it with action in real time. And then I said, when you do that, you want to exceed it. You want to go past whatever you put out there, so that it stamps it, like, firmly into whoever it is mind, so they can see, like, okay, that person wasn't just talking, they really meant what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? And that's when, and I'm talking about that as far as, like, when you're dealing with people and you tell somebody something like, I'm this, or this is what I bring to the table, and then, okay, boom, now you show that, and then you go above and beyond to display your value, the power that you hold, the energy that you carry that is rare. You show that in real time, and that's how you leave a lasting impression. So, next point, your value should outweigh your maintenance. Your value should overshadow what it takes to deal with you. Facts. Your value should overshadow what it takes to deal with you. So your value should be way more powerful than what it takes to actually, how much it takes to handle you. Like, to be in your presence, it shouldn't be that hard to be in your presence and deal with you if you have high value, because if you have high value, that means that you look at yourself in a certain way and you take care of yourself in a certain way. So when you come to the table, you're already coming to the table complete within yourself on the inside. And everything I'm talking about when it comes to value, I'm talking about on the inside. I'm not talking about physical, monetary things, because anybody can attain those things through any means, but that doesn't make you a valuable person. There's plenty of people who have a ton of money who have no real value, no real substance on the inside. So they have all this money, but their life is poor. The quality of life is poor because they have no substance on the inside. But there's people who don't have that much money at all who live a fulfilling life because of what they carry on the inside. So everything is always about what you have on the inside. That dictates your quality of life. What type of energy are you carrying? You know what I'm saying? It's not about the outside physical stuff, because at any point you can attain a whole bunch of money, and at any point you can lose a whole bunch of money like that quickly. So then it really does come down to who are you at your core. And that's where your real value lies. Who you are at your core, how you move around in the world, how you treat people in the world, how you make people feel when you come around. Your presence. That's really what your true value is. Not how much money you have or the things that you have, what kind of car you drive. None of that stuff matters. I'm telling you, the people who really get this, they understand it and they feel it. Like once you mature to a certain level, you start to understand this. So your value should outweigh your maintenance. So again, when you come around, your value should outweigh your maintenance, so to where it's easy to deal with you. And because it's easy to deal with you because you've already dealt with yourself. And when people do deal with you, they're going to want to continue to keep dealing with you because you make it easy, first off. And then secondly, on the back end of how easy it is to deal with you, there's a ton of value that comes with dealing with you. So when you come around, you make things better. Period. On all different levels of however you want to put it. You just make things better, period. Your presence, your energy, the vibe that you're giving off, it just makes everything better. Everything flows better in life when you come around, as opposed to like when they're around other people and they're being drained. But when you come around as like a source of like power and energy, and you feed them. So that's what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? When you have a high value within yourself, that's the type of energy that you're going to put out, and people are going to gravitate towards that naturally. Okay, next point. If everyone can have you, then you're not valuable. Facts. Because you know your value, not everyone should have access to you. Only give access to people who truly acknowledge and appreciate your time, attention, and energy, and reciprocate that consistently. That makes you rare and highly sought after. Those are facts. Real value, people who have real value or things that are real valuable are hard to attain. They're not easily attainable. Not everybody has access to high value things. So if you are somebody who is allowing yourself to be accessible to just anybody, you're not of high value, because you're not looking at yourself as valuable. When you look at yourself as valuable, you're not just going to let anybody have access to you. And when you do let somebody have access to you, depending on how much access to you they have, it's going to show them how valuable you think that they are within your life. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already letting it be known. Not everybody can come around me and do certain things. So if I'm allowing you to be in my life and have a certain level of access to me, that means that you hold a certain spot in my life and you have value to me. So your value, I'm looking at you with a similar type of value that I have within myself. And that's why I'm allowing you to have access to me in the way that I'm allowing you to have access to me. So real valuable people don't allow just anybody to have access to them. You have to show and prove that you are worthy of having that access, because I worked hard in order to increase my value on the inside. So I'm not just going to let anybody come around and have access to that. And that's the way you got to be within your life if you want a quality life of like peace and fun and joy and not much drama. That's the way you got to move. That's my advice for you. Take that and use it to your benefit. Not everybody should have access to you. Your energy is precious. It's rare. So treat it as such. Treat yourself as a rare gem. Don't just be out here letting anybody touch you. Don't just be out here just letting anybody play within your energy. If they're not making you feel good, they're not bringing you good vibes, cut them off by any means necessary. It doesn't matter what the reasoning is, because things can be replaced. Things are replaceable, but your energy's not. So next point, under no and this goes to what I was just saying, and under no circumstances do you let anyone play in your energy. Always be ready to remove yourself from a situation, no matter who it is or how deeply you feel. Facts. You're too valuable to waste your time playing games with anyone. The right person or people will not pass up on the valuable opportunity, because those are rare to come by. Facts. The right people are not going to pass up on a valuable opportunity or a valuable person within their life. If they see that you got value, they're not going to let you just float off and go somewhere and be gone because of some circumstance that in their life that is holding them back from utilizing that value that they see. You know what I'm saying? That's what it just comes down to. You don't let people play in your energy. Like I just said, your energy is precious, it's rare. You treat it as such. You are a rare being. You're unique. We all are unique in our own ways, and we all have special qualities in our own ways. And the only reason why we go through the stuff we go through is because we don't act like that. We don't act like we're rare or that we have value. We just willy-nilly just throw ourselves out there and we let anybody have access to us. We let anybody play within our energy. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that sense of like, no, I'm cutting you off. Like, I don't care what type of attachments we have. You know what I'm saying? I know my value, so I'm not going to just sit around and let you play with my energy because of some sort of situation or whatever the case may be. No, I'm going to cut it out right out so that I can live a peaceful life. Like, if I really want peace in my life, then I'm going to do exactly what I need to cut out anything that's not bringing me peace by any means necessary. It doesn't matter. You know, we can make up all the excuses we want to make up as to why we are holding on to whatever things we're holding on to as far as like relationships and situationships or whatever the case whatever you want to call it. But when it comes down to it, if it's not bringing you peace, if it's not bringing you a good vibe, if it's not uplifting you, then you don't need that in your life, and you need to cut it out by any means necessary, period. So you don't let nobody play within your energy at all. It's too precious. You don't got time for that. Last point, when you know your value, you have no problem telling other people their value, because it takes nothing from you to acknowledge someone else's special qualities. Facts. When you know your value, you know yourself to your core. It doesn't take anything away from you to tell somebody else how special they are and to let them know what their value is in real time. And when you do that, the only thing you're doing is putting out positive energy that's going to come back to you. So when you tell somebody else their value, then that person is going to hear it, and then they're going to think, oh, okay, that person sees my value. That's going to make them uplift their spirits, make them feel as they should feel. And then in turn is going to make them recognize your value, because you're bringing them value through your value by showing them their value. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So if somebody's in your life and they're telling you what your value is, you better hold on to that person. You better not let that person go. You better hold on to them. Like, if you know for a fact that they're being genuine and there is no ulterior motive behind it, like if they come around, they showing you genuine love and they're telling you what your value is, they're uplifting you, telling you they're proud of you and seeing your growth and all this other stuff, you better not let go of them. You better do everything you can in your power to keep that person in your life, period. No, I do. And lastly, I got a cheat code for y'all real quick, a real quick cheat code for y'all. How to gauge your value in real time. I'm gonna tell you how to gauge it in real time. Watch how people react to your presence when you come around. Facts. When you have high value, you will put people at ease. Things will flow. Spirits will lift because of the calm, loving, relaxed, high frequency you're naturally giving off. People will associate you with a good vibe and fun. They will love your presence. These are facts. I'm telling you, when you're operating from a specific type of energy and you come around people and you're within that love, relaxed, high frequency, calm, fun, naturally given, people are going to naturally just love your presence, and they're going to look to you for that specific type of vibe. Look at how people's eyes light up when they see you. People will naturally gravitate towards you, and they will come to you as a safe space for venting or advice because your energy is grounded and inviting. It's grounded, inviting, and magnetic. Those are facts. When you know your value and you're good within yourself, people are gonna naturally gravitate towards you because you're grounded. They're gonna feel it. They're gonna say, okay, this person knows who they are. They're stable. They're secure. They're safe. They're inviting. They're not closed off. They're not, you know what I mean? They are them. So I'm gonna go gravitate towards that person with to feel a good energy, to be within safety, to vent, whatever the case may be. That's how it's gonna happen. I promise you. Most importantly, they will treat you with the utmost respect because you know your value. And bad, y'all, my phone cut out on me. But last 2 points on my other phone. Last 2 points. Most importantly, they will treat you with the utmost respect because you know your value and respect yourself and others. What you give out comes back to you, and that's a fact. That's what I always talk about. Energy, what goes around comes around. The energy you give out is going to come back to you. So when you know your value and you're walking around and within your value, and then you're treating other people, you notice other people's value and you treat them as such, they got no other choice but to respect you because of the way that you're moving and the energy that you're giving out. So you know your value. You treat other people like they have value, and therefore they're going to respect you and treat you as such. So that's another way to gauge your value is when people give you that respect, is because they see the value that you have within you, and it's because you treat them with value also. And last point, people are afraid to lose valuable things. These are facts. They take care of what they know has high value. You will see in their efforts just how valuable you are to them. So go towards the people who take care of you. And that is a fact. That is a good way to end that whole thing. If you're dealing with anybody, it doesn't matter who it is. If you got any type of relationship, people who deem you as valuable are going to make sure that not only do they tell you, but they show you in their actions. They're going to treat you as valuable. They're going to make sure that you know for a fact that they see value in you in their own way, because not everybody is expressive like verbally. So everybody has their own love language. So they're going to show you. It's going to be undeniable to you that these people are they see the value that you have, and that they love, cherish you, and they want to take care of you because of that value. You know what I'm saying? So those are all good ways to understand and know what your value is in life. And again, it just comes down to you knowing your own value first, and then once you know your own value and you're working through it and walking with it, then naturally everybody else is going to feel it and treat you as such, and you won't have too many issues in life because you already are walking within your value. So that's what's going to come back to you. That high value you have is going to come right back to you, and you're going to have a great quality of life. Remember what I said. It's not about the things that you attain. It's not about the material stuff. It's about what you have in here. And when you can tap into what you got in there and really unlock that power, people are just gonna know and feel it, and they're gonna treat you as such. But that's my words of wisdom for today, y'all. I'm hoping that you're having a good day. I'm sending love out your way, and I'm holla.